Welcome to the Belfast Food Network Nourish Cookery class brought to you by me, Jade Bradley. So today I am going to show you how to make a really lovely autumn crumble. So I'm going to use some apples that I have been lucky enough to get from my cousin, who's got an apple tree out his backyard, along with some berries that I had that were going soft. Use your imagination with this recipe. You could use rhubarb, blackberries, raspberries, pears, peaches, or any other combination of fruit that you can think of. Just be mindful of how much sugar you add to the recipe because some sweeter fruits will need less sugar. And you could also experiment and add some chopped or crushed nuts to the crumble mix. This recipe really does use minimal ingredients for such a tasty dessert treat. All the food for thought growers may recognise this recipe from their recipe booklet. So these are the ingredients that I'm using for the crumble. Like I said, we've got the apples and the berries. So I have peeled and cored the apples, then chopped them into similar sized pieces and mixed the berries through. This is some coconut sugar. I had not got any castor sugar, which you can also use for the recipe, along with some plain flour and some porridge oats. Here I've got some demerara sugar where I do try to get a fair trade option. And then I've got some butter, so that's also going to go into the crumble mix. First up, I sprinkled the castor sugar or whatever other type of sugar you will be using over the fruit mix in an oven dish. Make sure to sprinkle it as evenly as possible. Once this is done, we will mix the flour, the porridge oats and demerara sugar into a mixing bowl. The sugar can be quite lumpy, so before I added the butter, I tried to even out the lumps with a spoon. Once this is done, I added the butter to this mix. The aim here is to mix them together until you have a texture of coarse breadcrumbs. I swapped between using my hands and using a wooden spoon to get this desired texture. You may need to adjust ingredient amounts depending on the size of your oven dish. I used a 12-inch oval oven dish for this recipe. Now we can go ahead and sprinkle the crumble mix over the fruit, being mindful to do this as evenly as we possibly can. Once this is done, we will go ahead and pop the crumble in an oven that has been preheated at around 180 degrees Celsius for around 40 minutes, or until the topping is golden and the fruit mix is bubbling up underneath. Allow the crumble to cool slightly before serving, either alone or with cream, custard, ice cream, natural yogurt, or whatever takes your fancy. And there you have it, autumn fruit crumble.